Welcome back to another weekly recap for the High School League. It's your boy Nizzy from the Esport Company, providing this week's recap from Week 5 Rocket League Division 2. It's Winburg up against Gateway, Forest Hills at Hollidaysburg, Berlin Brothersvalley taking on Bishop Carroll, and Penn Trafford versus Salisbury Elk. Let's take a look at our top 5 plays for this week. At number 5, we had Prometheum PC running out of boost, but no problem at all for that player from Gateway. They're going to make that play still happen anyways. No boost, no problem. At number 4, we had Berlin's Brothersvalley with a great save by Iconic Caden coming in to back up his teammate for that save in that number 4 spot. Moving on to number 3. It's going to be Forest Hills trying to get a shot, but Trolley Man is going to make a save from Hollidaysburg. Look at that save for that number 3 spot. At number 2, it's going to be Winburg, WASD Esports 1, going off the ceiling, getting a ceiling shot for that go-ahead goal, 2-0 goal there. And our number 1 spot for this week. Week number 5 is a long shot from the Mega Blaziken from his own net into the corner, into the goal for the go-ahead goal there. Less than a minute left. Score is tied 2-2, and look at this. It's a clear ball, but it's also a shot in the upper 90 off the crossbar and in. Love to see it. Hollidaysburg 3-2 over Forest Hills for that one. Bishop Carroll 3-0s Berlin Brothersvalley, and Winburg takes out Gateway 3-0. Let's take a look at our standings. It's Winburg still on top. Can anyone beat them? We will find out as we're getting closer to playoffs. Nizzy's out.
All right, hello and welcome back to another fantastic day for Rocket League. This, of course, is the Esport Company's presentation of the High School League for Rocket League Division 2 of the Spring 2022 season. I'm your host for tonight and this afternoon, Alexander T. Kresek, aka Master Hamster, and I will let my lovely co-host introduce himself.
Thank you for that there, Alex. My name is Will, also known as Wilson or It's Wilson, either one, and we have some great matchups for you guys here in Division 2 Rocket League, so should be a great time.
Yeah, it definitely has been an incredible season so far. This is week 6, so this is, in fact, the last week of the regular season. Of course, we talked about it a little bit in the past if you watch some of the other broadcasts, but this does mean that every team is going to be making it into the playoffs. But seeding is so important when we're talking about these teams, so that they've been vying so hard for proper seeding. And let's take a look at the standings while we're talking about the seeding. And on top, of course, is Winber, 5-0, undefeated for the entirety of regular season. Will they be able to keep that perfect standing at the end of the week?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough one for sure. To see if they continue that continue that form throughout the playoffs as well. Being able to get to where they are, it has been no easy task for sure. But then, of course, at that number 2 spot is Hollidaysburg. Their only loss, I believe, being to Winber.
Yep.
So they are another very solid team, and they are. I mean, of course, it's number 1 and number 2, but they are the favorites to give Winber a little bit of contention in the playoffs towards the end. But then, of course, tied for 3rd place is, of course, Forest Hills and Penn Trafford, followed up with a tie in 5th as well between Gateway and Bishop Carroll, both sitting at 2 and 3, right on that cusp of being at that 0.5 mark for the record. And then we have Berlin Brothersvalley at 1 and 4, followed up by Salisbury Elk at 0 and 5.
Yeah, Salisbury definitely having a rough season. Maybe this is the upset that we'll see today. I sure am excited. But when we're talking about the upper kind of part of the seating here, Hollidaysburg and Forest Hills, we saw them play against each other last week, and they were so close. It was definitely a battle. Hollidaysburg coming out on top at the end of the day. But I don't think that's going to be the end all be all for Forest Hills. They've been looking so clean for the entirety of this season that I definitely think come playoffs, we will definitely see a very, very strong and motivated Forest Hills team. So I'm looking at them as possibly an upset bringer at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's who knows? Like the term is any given Sunday, so I think here it's any given Tuesday. Yeah,
Nope.
it's Tuesday. So there's the age old mantra of reason they play the game, and maybe today we'll see exactly why that's the case.
Yeah, and
So
let's talk about what we are going to be seeing
yeah,
today, and let's take a look at the schedule. Of course, for game number 1 coming up in just a couple of moments here, we have Bishop Carroll versus Penn Trafford. Both of these teams just separated by 1 point here. Penn Trafford 3 and 2, as we talked about. Bishop Carroll 2 and 3, but we have seen Bishop Carroll kind of on the up and up. Granted, the same can be said about Penn Trafford, who were definitely struggling at the start of
mhm.
this regular season, and now have really started to explode into their own. Following that game, on game number 2, we have Hollidaysburg versus Brothersvalley. Berlin Brothers just really struggling throughout the regular season. Hollidaysburg, of course, as we talked about, the number 2 seed, looking very, very strong. Game number 3, we've got Salisbury's Elk versus Winber, literally the top of the seating and the bottom of the seating right now. Will Salisbury Elk be able to find some miraculous win? I sure hope so. That match is going to be very, very interesting. And then finally, to end up the day, we have Gateway versus Forest Hills. Both teams looking very, very strong. Again, only separated by 1. Forest Hills 3 and 2, Gateway 2 and 3. So that should also be a very close match.
Yeah, it definitely should, but I believe we also have rosters for our first matchup here of Bishop Carroll versus Penn Trafford. On the side of Bishop Carroll, we have Boy Racing, Lukey or Lucky, either one. And then, of course, we have BC Esports. And then on the end of Penn Trafford, we have Step Bro, Burb, and Monkey for us all.
Yeah,
Forest Hills, or sorry, Penn Trafford, I think has the most interesting names out of all these all the teams in this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as we get into this game, I think the player that you're gonna want to keep your eyes on, at least on the side of Bishop Carroll, is going to be Boy Racing. Really have seen a lot out of them throughout the entirety of the regular season, really stepping up for their team. I mean, last week we even saw Lukey as well really coming into their own, taking up some of the slack that Boy Racing was experiencing, because there were a lot of demos coming out on the side of Boy Racing as the team was definitely trying to hone them down and target them a little bit, make sure that they're out of the game. And Lukey really just stepped up and played incredibly. So those two players on the side of Bishop Carroll are definitely going to keep my eyes on them. I don't think I've seen too much out of Penn Trafford to really point down one
Mhm.
person who's been incredible. So we'll just have to see which one of these players really stands out today.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to who can work better as a team and also minimize the mistakes because a lot of the goals that we've seen throughout this group stage of this league has just been uh, mistakes on the defensive end, over rotation on the offense, leading to a wide open net for someone to get into. So that's definitely going to be something you want to key on if you're a team in this league is making sure you don't make those mistakes because those will cost you in the current game and possibly in the set as well. So that's definitely going to be a big thing for both teams to keep an eye on. For every team to keep an eye on throughout today.
Oh, absolutely. Man, there's so much happening here as we get into game number one. Here we go. Bishop Carroll versus Penn Trafford. Here we go.
Yeah, right now ball in the end of Penn Trafford, but they do manage to get it out, and now they're gonna try and do something with it. And Step Bro is there to clean it up and put it in. I mean, Bishop Carroll tried to clear that out, but Step Bro read him like a book and got it right off of the initial hit to put it in and go up very early 1-0 in favor of Penn Trafford.
Yeah, and really, we talk about Stepbro being able to finish that shot, but it was really set up by Banana Monkey at the end of the day. We see Bishop Carroll being a little aggressive, trying to put their own pressure on the board. But wow, what a fantastic start for Penn Trafford. That is exactly what they need to get this ball rolling. And we see the double commit
Oh,
coming
the
out.
double. Ooh. Yeah, double commit there by Bishop Carroll. Luckily for them, it doesn't end up in a goal. And Penn Trafford unable to quite get onto that. And it's kind of what I talked about early on. You don't want to make these mistakes on the defensive end because it will cost you in the end. But right now, pressure going in favor. Penn Trafford shot goes just to the left, and now Bishop Carroll can clear.
Yeah, and this is really where we talk about that defensive mistakes happen, right? Where they go for a very big commit on the offensive side, and then they're all on the offense side and not really ready to defend. Thankfully for Penn Trafford, Bishop Carroll not able to really get a touch or a handle on the ball, so couldn't make too much plays happen with their opportunity. But now trying to make something happen here, pushing the ball into the corner. We're going to see a clear. It's going to get past one member of Bishop Carroll. Boy Racing gets a touch on it, but can't keep it.
Yeah, and right now this is a great spot to be in for Penn Trafford, and they put it away. 2-0. Stepbro with the second goal. Banana Monkey with the second assist. Penn Trafford right now playing the better team ball. I mentioned that as well before the game started, is that team play is going to ultimately be the difference maker in this. And right now we are seeing just how important team play can be.
Oh, wow. Lukey with a beautiful touch on that ball to get it past the defense of Penn Trafford. It's not going to be enough, though. Lukey going to get in the back here. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Oh, my gosh. Another Burb by themselves going to get another point on the board for Penn Trafford. Lukey gets a touch on it. Burb is there to get the rebound. No one else on the side of Bishop Carroll was there to collect.
Yeah, and I think ultimately that goal is caused by a double commit by Bishop Carroll in the middle half, in the middle third of the field, which left a one-on-one. And once that ball is cleared, you don't have anyone to follow up, and that just leaves a wide open goal for Burb to put in. And that's exactly what happened. Bishop Carroll unable to get that ball, and now, oh, never mind, they do have someone back. I thought for a second that they didn't, But right now, this is a great chance for Bishop Carroll. Ball still in the half of Penn Trafford. Can they do something with it? Ball pressure remains within the half of Penn Trafford, but it seems like they're going to be able to get this one away.
Yeah, Burb doing a great job of just slowing down the ball, getting into an awkward angle, and then
Oh,
teeing up for step, bro. Let's take another look at that. Burb dribbling the ball on top of the car. Honestly, really just setting themselves up as a tee for step, bro, to just knock it by. And we see Bishop Carroll Esports just not able to get there in time. A little off the mark. Wasn't expecting a shot like that.
yeah, I don't think they were quite ready for that, to be honest. And as a result, it doesn't get put in. But no, the double miss by Bishop Carroll. They can't put it in. And
Oh,
now scoreline will remain 4-0. That was a chance to try and get back into this game.
oh, that hurts my soul. They were
It
so
does.
close. Oh my
And also,
gosh.
speaking of so close, Banana Monkey firing a shot off the post. And Step Bro is going to clean that up. Great control in the air to put that one in.
Yes, absolutely. Something that we've talked about in the past is just aerial mobility can really set you apart from your competition,
Yeah.
especially in this league in Division 2. Aerial mobility is really what you want to focus on. And we see the teams that do really well have that control of the air, are not afraid to get up in the air. Even if they miss, they're willing to take those opportunities and those chances. Burb with a beautiful drop pass, not going to get anything out of it. In fact, Lukey's going to get a touch on it, but Stepbro is there to return. Oh my gosh, boy racing.
Ooh.
What happened there? I don't think they got the orientation that they wanted to. It looked like they were on the side.
Yeah, right now it seems like
Uh,
Bishop Carroll's just a step slow. I don't know quite what's up with that, but I think knowing the way this league goes, I'm feeling they'll brush this one off and get ready for the next one. But right now, it is 100% all Penn Trafford in this game.
Yeah, and Penn Trafford really trying to show off the fact that they do have that aerial control and that they are the better team at the end of the day. We saw a triple commit from Penn Trafford as they were just passing the ball in the air, trying to make something happen. Burb is here, going to try to get that touch, but Boy Racing and Esports for Bishop Carroll are just there, ready to receive, ready to block that. We're just a little over a minute left. Stepbro in the air, trying to get something happen. There's a pass to Burb. Burb is there, just a little off.
Yeah, and now it is potentially in the side of Bishop Carroll. But right as I say that, Penn at Trafford able to intercept and keep the ball in the half of Bishop Carroll. But now a double commit there. Can Bishop Carroll now counterattack? No, it gets intercepted at midway. Penn Trafford not letting the ball get out of the half of Bishop Carroll.
Absolutely not. And another shot all the way from half field. Stepper going to get credited with that. We see them right all the way from their goal, just going to boost up. Lukey is there, but just can't quite get into position for it. And that's what you were talking about, right? It just seems that Bishop Carroll is a little bit slow on these plays. They're just not fast enough to get right into the perfect position. And this is really where Penn Trafford is showing themselves and showing that they may have had a rough start to the season, but they are one of the better teams. They do deserve to be here and they do deserve some respect.
Yeah, and right now another goal not quite gonna squeak in there after Bishop Carroll failed to clear the ball from the net, and another shot there by Burp doesn't quite go in. And now, I think we can safely say now that this is game one chalked going in the way of Penn Trafford as we tick down to zero, maybe a 0 second goal coming out here to help the goal differential for Penn Trafford. Not quite gonna happen. And Penn Trafford takes game number one. And yeah, Stepbro with 6 goals.
Yeah.
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 So you said that you were like, oh, I don't think there's really anyone to keep an eye on for Penn Trafford. We might need to keep an eye out for Stepbro
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
the future.
Yeah, Sepro definitely there to keep your eyes on them. I really want to point out Banana Monkey though, because while we did see Stepbro get a lot of goals, a lot of shots. I mean, 6 goals, 8 shots on net. So much happening there on the aggressive side. I do want to talk about Banana Monkey, who was really there setting up for Step Bro a lot of times, and even Burb setting up for Step Bro as well. Really, that is good team play. I
Yeah.
really would like to see more of that out of them as they go deeper into this match, because they have been doing such a fantastic job of playing around each other. A lot of times, especially in this league, we've seen a lot of one-on-one plays or one player just really standing out. So to see that the whole team is playing around this player, and that they're passing back and forth, they're setting each other up, that is something I love to see.
Yeah, and I've also noticed that as well. It's the teams that play better together tend to have. I mean, you can say that for really any sport and esport. Teams that play well together usually tend to be the better teams in matchups of similar skill, and we've really seen that be evident in this league. A lot of the teams that struggle with team play tend to be towards the bottom of the standings, and the teams that clearly mesh well and synergize well with each other are 5-0 heading into playoffs. So I mean, it's yeah. In that match, it was definitely all Penn Trafford team play, shots, pressure, defense, every stat category they dominated in, except for goals given up.
Yeah. Yep. You are absolutely correct. And what I would say is, out of Bishop Carroll, that was definitely a quieter game than we have
Yeah.
seen in the past. So the fun part about Rocket League is it can just go back and forth at any point in time. I think if we see Bishop Carroll really step up their game, if we see a little bit more out of Boy Racing, especially on the aggressive front, I think we could see a entirely different game. And something that we should talk about is that we do get a swap from Bishop Carroll. We see BC Esports 1 getting traded out from BC Esports 2, but it doesn't matter, as Stepbro is going to get credited with that. Honestly, that was all Burb, but Stepbro just getting the final touch at the end of the day.
I mean, that's not. You could not ask for an easier shot right there if you're Step Bro. But another thing to keep note is to watch this switch from them, and Burb not moving.
Burb?
You good, bud? Are you good, my guy? But yeah. Oh, he's still not moving. So maybe Penn Trafford trying to win this one. Oh, Burb lost connection. Yeah, it looks like we might be restarting this game.
I don't know. I think we'll probably just play it on. And
I mean,
this is the
Penn
opportunity.
Trafford might be trying to have a little bit of a tougher competition. Not feeling like they've been challenged, but a ball almost goes in the back of the net. It looks like we continue to play on even without Burb. And honestly, without Burb, not only does it become a 3v2, but you miss that playmaking that he gave you so much of in that first game.
Yeah, but I mean, we can really talk about the strength of Penn Trafford here, because we see Stepbro dunking it into the net
Goodness.
up 2-0 against Bishop Carroll. And again, this is this is what we were talking about, right? Like, when it comes Oh my gosh. Sorry. We read chat. We saw Stepbro giving a little quick definition of what happened. Apparently, Burb accidentally slammed their desk, and therefore their computer.
Oh, that's also we don't know if that's satire or not.
But true.
If that's true. That's really funny.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Banana Monkey
doesn't need it.
I had a feeling this would happen. Penn Trafford now just absolutely controlling this game. 3-0. They don't need Burb. They can do everything themselves. It's like that. It's like that scene from the what was it? I forget which Marvel movie it was, but it was just Thanos saying, "Fine, I'll do it myself." And right now, that is Stepbro and Banana Monkey right now, and there's just nothing Bishop Carroll can do to stop it.
Yeah, not really. I mean, and I don't know if you saw it, but at the very end, it was also a rule number 1 between Stepbro and Lukey, I believe. So it literally was Banana Monkey versus the 2 members left of Bishop Carroll, and Banana Monkey was just able to make that point go in.
What a shot!
Yes. 2 of the defenders of Bishop Carroll, they cannot do anything, unfortunately, just struggling to clear the ball away, and Banana Monkey there to capitalize. Woo!
What What a tough angle on the rotate. And Burb has returned. That is not what you want to see if you're Bishop Carroll, because you struggled against two. And now they get the last piece of the puzzle back.
Yes.
And right as I say that, he makes his impact and his presence felt. Burb with another goal.
Oh my goodness. Let's take another look at that. Lukey not really getting the touch that they wanted, sending it to the corner, and Burb there to return. That was a beautiful shot too. Wow, just high enough to get over the defense and just low enough to barely get knocked in. 2 minutes 40 seconds remaining. We're just about at halftime, and Penn Trafford is looking like they are not slowing down. 5-0 in favor of them.
Yeah, Penn Trafford controlling every aspect of the game yet again. I thought maybe we'd see a little bit of a regain from Bishop Carroll, but it looks like it's more of the same. Step bro from downtown. Absolutely a great goal from his own end. No one there on Bishop Carroll. Looks like BC Esport 2 tried to grab that corner boost, but was unable to make it back in time. And now, similar scoreline to the last game. Bishop Carroll needs to figure out something to do real quick.
Yeah, I mean, what I'd like to see is Bishop Carroll holding on to the ball, holding on possession a bit longer so that they can get something happen, along with making sure that the rotations are clean, right? We see Lukey
Oh
lose
my.
out here. Burb just going to run it into the net. 7-0 is the scoreline. Penn Trafford just completely in control of this match.
Yeah, I mean, Burb just bobbing and weaving his way through the team, taking the ball with him while he does it. Burb came back halfway through the game and already has 2 goals, and the score is 0-7. This has a chance to get really out of hand.
Yes, absolutely. But I mean, Bishop Carroll, we've seen them do better than this before. It really does feel like an off day. Stepper is going to get another goal in 8-0, already passing their last score line, and they still have a little under
Yeah,
2
that's the
minutes
scary
remaining.
part. Yeah, that's the scary part. Still, basically 2 minutes, just under 2 minutes left, and they've already passed the scoreline from the last game. So you got to think, how does this play into the psyche of Bishop Carroll? And right now, Bishop Carroll is just dejected, waiting for the next game to start.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
honestly, I don't blame him.
we also see the demos coming out, so it is becoming more and more difficult for Bishop Carroll to make these blocks when they can't even stay alive long enough in their net, because we see Penn Trafford doing these demos. But here's an opportunity, a sign of life from
Ooh.
Bishop Carroll. The ball's not going in, but as I said, that Burb knocking it in. They are ready. Penn Trafford trying to hit that double digit mark.
Yeah, and a great follow up there by Burb. Already has his hat trick after coming back from that disconnect, doing his job for sure. And right now, the question is, Alex, what can Bishop Carroll do?
That is a fantastic question, as we see Burb getting another point in here. Penn Trafford finally hitting that double digits 10-0 in their scoreline. Really, what I think Bishop Carroll needs to do is they need to really focus on slowing down the game. Right now, Penn Trafford is just having a field day. They have practically full control of the ball. So, what I think Bishop Carroll needs to do is regain possession of the ball, try to keep it, and make some fantastic saves like that. Lukey preventing that 11-0. Boy
Oh,
racing with the shot as well. Burb is there,
what a save!
but the aggression is still on. Boy Racing just jumps out of the way, not the direction that they wanted to do. Definitely a misinput. Stepbro trying to dribble it off the top of the ball, on top of the roof of his car, but it's not going to last very long. Bishop Carroll looking like signs of life happening here. Boy Racing going to get another touch on it. Burb going to stop any sort of aggression, but Lukey keeping the pressure on.
Yeah, Bishop Carroll in this last minute has played better than every minute of this game combined. Seemingly coming back to life here. Maybe they could try and do something with it. I just feel they've played as individuals and not as a team.
Mm.
and it's really showed on defense. They are just so disconnected, it seems. There's not really much that they can do. And Penn Trafford takes that 10-0.
Oh, and I mean, we talked about like a little earlier. That's not the scoreline you want to see. If
It's
you're
not.
Bishop Carroll, that can definitely be demoralizing. But at the end of the day, they just need to take a breather, take a couple of seconds here, regain, regroup,
Regain.
and realize that this is not the end. This, of course, is a
Yeah.
best of five, so there is still potentially one more game, or there is at least one more
Reverse
game,
sweep.
potentially more. The reverse sweep is on the horizon. If Bishop Carroll can play and stay the way that they were at that very last 45 seconds of the game, I think we may have a very different game on our
Yeah.
hands. But on that same note, Penn Trafford is looking immaculate. They are
Yeah.
looking so good. I know they were struggling in the beginning of the season. Maybe they just needed time to really work together, formulate a plan, figure out how to work with each other because they are doing some fantastic things here.
Yeah, and right in that game as well, Penn Trafford dominated every aspect of the game yet again. And based on the way the last games have gone, we may be saying more, seeing, excuse me, more of the same, heading into this third match. So it's. But as you said, the last minute for Bishop Carroll was really well.
Yeah, and here we go, getting into game three. Right now, Penn Trafford up 2-0 in the series. They just took a dominating game number two. Can Bishop Carroll fight their way back into this series, or is it all green? And Burb starting it off strong for Penn Trafford here.
Yeah, Burb really doing well to follow up that shot from his teammate. The double commit by Bishop Carroll makes them pay for having that double commit, and that is not the start you wanted if you're Bishop Carroll trying to start the reverse sweep here.
Not at all. But there's an opportunity. Can Bishop Carroll keep up this aggression? Lukey's gonna take it to the corner. Banana Monkey trying to get it out. Lukey's still there, but they're just gonna get it past Lukey climbing over Banana Monkey and Burb getting credited for that score.
I think right now Bishop Carroll's wondering if he can disconnect again. Because he is looking absolutely dominant right now. I mean, 2 shots, 2 goals. He has come out of the gates flying. He said he probably heard me mentioning a reverse sweep. It says I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
So right now it's Penn Trafford in control, still in control as well. However, Stepbro does miss that ball, goes to halfway.
Oh,
Bishop Carroll runs into each other. That is what you don't want to see.
that is so unfortunate. A little bit of miscommunication can really cost you a lot. Thank goodness Lukey was there to stop at the goal attempt. Oh no, and we see Bishop Carroll, Boy Racing, not getting the touch on the ball. So BC Esports has to do it. But again, the more people that you have trying to get that initial touch on the ball, the less people you have for those rotations later in the game, later while you're deeper near the net.
Yeah, and right now Bishop Carroll just trying to get the ball out of their end, but they're just met at the halfway line by Penn Trafford, who keeps the ball in their end. And there's just nothing you can do really at that point besides try and go for demos. If you do that, you run the risk of overextending, ball going back to halfway, and there it is, intercepted again. But now this could be the break that they want. Ball heading into the corner of Penn Trafford, back out to midfield, and in the hands of Penn Trafford, ball hits the side. Great pass off the wall to Stepbro. Assist goes to Bird. Or
Yeah.
Burb.
Something to note here that is we're just about at that 3-minute mark, and Penn Trafford has definitely been slowed down a little bit. We only have
Yeah.
3 goals on this point. Bishop Carroll doing a great job of holding their own, making sure that it isn't always just goal after goal after goal. But unfortunately, we see a double commit on the side of Bishop Carroll, not getting anything out of it. Lukey's going to contest, but loses the 50-50. And now Stepbro has an opportunity, going to try to make something happen. All right, there we go. Esports going to pass it to Lukey. He's going to get the touch on it and put it into Penn Trafford's half. Burb, though, and the rest of Penn Trafford just going to keep control of the ball, even when things look dangerous. They look scary. Burb with that beautiful bait, going to get past two defenders. Step Bros there to keep the aggression up. Banana Monkey trying to make something happen. Oh no!
Oh
Bishop Carroll
no.
runs into each other, and this is what we were talking about. That communication aspect is so important, and a little misstep like that can put two of your players out of position easily.
Yeah, that is not what you want to see if you are Bishop Carroll. I mean, a double commit and you still miss the ball from the double commit. That is just a double negative, which is not equal positive in this situation. And a little bit of pressure there by Bishop Carroll. Can't quite do anything with it. And now Penn Trafford's on the counterattack. That's another thing that Penn Trafford has done really well, is they haven't allowed a lot of pressure from Bishop Carroll. And when they have, it just seems like they're able to counterattack so fast that Bishop Carroll can't really counter it at all.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, honestly, we talk about it. Bishop Carroll has been
Right.
on
Well,
the
right as I say that, they score. So
Bishop Carroll has been on the latter half of these games the entire time, but we see Boy Racing, the player that I thought would give Penn Trafford the most trouble, coming up with the first goal for Bishop Carroll. Penn Trafford now giving away their perfect scoreline that they had for both game 1 and 2. Game 3 looking very different. Oh no, as we see the ball goes in, and I think that may have been an own goal as BC
I
Esport
think
2
that was.
was trying to get it away, but unfortunately just knocks it in. Oh no, you hate to see
To be fair, it was a great finish.
it.
Just on the wrong net, which is not what you want to see if you're Bishop Carroll trying to dig yourself out of probably the deepest hole we've seen in this league yet. And honestly, I think after that one, morale has to be at an all-time low for Bishop Carroll. Still playing a little disconnected, it seems, on defense, but a great save there by Boy Racing, and now a potential counterattack opportunity.
Boy, Racing really getting aggressive here. We've seen so much out of them for the entirety of this season. It really does feel like we have not seen enough, but Banana Monkey putting in another one on the board for Penn Trafford. This team is looking so good. If you were overlooking them like I was, truthfully, no longer.
Hey, at least you admit it. Another thing to notice, no one really got back there for Bishop Carroll on defense.
Oh
And
no.
speaking of not being back there for defense, yet again, and right now, I mean, in the last 30 seconds, I think there's been 3 goals by Penn Trafford.
Here's what
And Stepro with a hat trick as well.
Here's what I'll say. If any of the Rocket League players are watching that kickoff, you have to make sure that you finish your kickoffs. You have to make sure those kickoffs are done. And Banana Monkey going to get another point on the board. Bishop Carroll is just losing all possession of the ball. The rotations are split. They're going for boost, but they have to guarantee the safety of their net or the boost doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I think the narrative for Bishop Carroll in this has been the missed balls in their half. I mean, we've seen it several times. They've missed easy clearances, easy contests, and it's cost them in this game. I mean, we saw what was the first one? 6-0, 7-0, then 10-0, and now 8-1. I mean,
Yep.
you just can't afford to have those missed opportunities in this at all, and kind of uncharacteristic from Bishop Carroll as well.
Oh,
And
step bro. Oh,
oh,
Lukey
squeezes it
couldn't
in.
clear it. That's so sad. Lukey was there too. Oh, we even see the aerial collide on the side of
Double
Penn
commit.
Trafford. Yeah, the double commit. Lukey is there, gets the touch on it, but cannot quite clear it. And I think you're right. Yeah, this definitely feels like an off day for Bishop Carroll. We have definitely seen them do better, but also that may just be a credit to Penn Trafford and their oppressive game style that we've seen here. They really have just been putting on the aggression shot after shot, and that may be why we're seeing more mistakes out of Bishop Carroll, just because they may block one or two, but then Penn Trafford's got 3 more for them to deal with.
Yeah, and we see yet another goal. Banana Monkey getting his hat trick now. I believe that is everyone on Penn Trafford with a hat trick. All of them with 3 assists. I mean, in terms of team play, this is as good as it gets.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you say that, right? And I think you're right. I'm not even sure if we see this much team play from Winber, the top team. They are definitely good, but when you look at Winber individually, the players are good. We do see them do some passing plays, some cooperation, but at the end of the day, Penn Trafford just looks like a unit together. They look like they're playing together, making sure that everyone's getting a chance to touch the ball. This may be the team with the most synergy that we've seen for this league.
Yeah, and honestly, completely dominant in that game. I mean, there was just nothing that Bishop Carroll could do as they fall to 2-4, and Penn Trafford will end the season on a 4-2. So kind of swapped the records between both teams. And honestly, Penn Trafford might be moving up on some favorites list after watching that performance against Bishop Carroll.
They are definitely moving up on my list. A team that I knew that the Penn Trafford name carried some weight, but after seeing them struggle a little
Prestige.
bit, yeah, prestige. But after seeing them struggle a little bit in the beginning of the season, I really was counting them out a little bit. Maybe that was definitely my bad because this team is looking very, very clean,
Yeah.
very together. The cooperation, the passing plays, the team play of the side of Penn Trafford was immaculate, and I think you're right. This may be the best team in that regard that we've seen so far. Even Winber, as I said, doesn't quite have that same feel. Doesn't quite have that same synergy.
Yeah, but at that point, you have to find that fine line between team play and player skill as well. And right there, Penn Trafford looked pretty good on both ends of that in that game, and maybe we see them continue that into the playoffs.
Yep. But for now, we are going to take a short break as we get the next matchup started. Can you remind me what the next matchup is?
It is Hollidaysburg versus Berlin Brothers Valley.
There we go. That is going to be game number 2. So we are going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere because we will be right back with some more high school action brought to you by the Esport Company. All right, hello and welcome back. You just watched Bishop Carroll versus Penn Trafford, and Penn Trafford really showing why they aren't a team to be underestimated, coming out with flying colors. Next up, we have Hollidaysburg versus Berlin Brothersvalley. Kind of two different ends of the spectrum here. Hollidaysburg having a fantastic run of the regular season and a great win over Forest Hills last week. Berlin Brothers, on the other hand, has had a little bit of struggles during the regular season. Maybe this is their time to turn it around. I, of course, am Alexander T. Kresek, aka Master Hamster, and I am joined by Wilson. Wilson, how are you feeling?
Doing good, doing good. And like you said, two opposite ends of the spectrum, but interesting storyline going in here. If Hollidaysburg does end up falling in this match, they get tied up with Penn Trafford. So, who just secured their final record of 4-2. So, should be interesting. But another thing that's interesting, let's get into the rosters for both teams. We have Hollidaysburg's roster of Shredder Luke, Haphazard Drip, and Big Poppy. And then probably the team with the coolest names so far. We have Nightmare, Obsidian Fang, and Spectral Flash. I mean, like, dude, those are the coolest names. Like, you can't go wrong with those.
Yeah, all the names sound like a special move from a video game of some kind.
Yeah, it's like an ultimate. It's like an ultimate ability that someone has or something.
Yeah, exactly. So some very cool names on the side of Berlin Brothersvalley. Will they be able to pick up their second win of the regular season? And this is the last week of regular season before we get to playoffs. Have no fear, though, if you're a Berlin Brothersvalley fan, as all of these teams will indeed be moving into playoffs. So this isn't the last time that you will see Berlin Brothersvalley. So have no fear. This isn't the last time that you have heard from Nightmare, Obsidian Fang,
Thank
or
God.
Spectral Flash.
Those are
Yeah.
such cool names. Like, who doesn't want to hear that? But speaking of hearing it, we're going to be seeing it as we get things started off with an early goal by Hollidaysburg. Big Poppy cleaning up on the mistake from Berlin Brothersvalley as they double commit and fail to win that ball in midfield.
Yeah, and this is what we saw even last game, right? With Bishop Carroll, this is what we saw. The early mistakes on the kickoff is really what is going to bite you in the back. Oh my gosh, Shredder Luke almost getting that. But now an opportunity for Berlin. Big Poppy just going to get over both members of Berlin. Big Poppy keeping on this ball every time that they think they're going to clear it. Oh no, they have to be careful. Wow.
No, you can't be doing that if you're Berlin Brothersvalley right there. I mean, just leaving the ball. I mean, that's just ripe for the picking for Big Poppy, and he cleans that up with ease. I mean, couldn't I ask for an easier goal?
No, absolutely not. And Big Poppy, we've seen them in action before. Typically one of the quieter players, but Shredder Luke making noise right now with that goal. Gonna get that double touch off the wall into Shredder Luke into the net.
Yeah, if you're Berlin, I'm just gonna call them Berlin for
Yep.
easier term. If you're Berlin right now, you really need to make sure you play some sound defense. You need to not go for these double commits. You also need to make sure you win it in the half. And oh my goodness, Haphazard Drip just speeding through the other team and puts it in just the right spot in that right corner to make it 4-0.
Yeah, it's 4-0 and not even a minute has passed yet. Oh my gosh, we see a triple commit on the side of Berlin, just trying to get something happening here. Obsidian Fang gonna knock the ball. Big Poppy's gonna get that demo. Haphazard's gonna knock it in, making it 5-0. I don't know what Berlin can do right now. This already feels like it's out of hand. We haven't even hit the 4-minute mark yet.
At this rate, if my calculations are correct.
If my calculations are correct.
It should be a 20-0.
Oh my gosh, but
make that potentially 20-1 or 20-4. Based on that, what a great kickoff goal. I mean, he just missed it completely. I mean,
Yeah, this is the danger of overconfidence. We see Shredder Luke missing that ball and setting up perfectly for Spectral Flash to just knock it into the net. Shredder Luke trying to make up for it, setting up Haphazard, but Haphazard's going to get a weird touch on the ball, sending it upwards. And now Berlin needs to clear it. It's right in front of the net. They need to get it out of there. Spectral Flash is there for it.
yeah, maybe that goal was the injection in the arm that they needed, but right as I say that,
Where
Shredder Luke literally uncontested on that
where
goal.
where did Berlin go?
A
Oh my
triple hit.
gosh.
Oh no.
Eh,
Yeah, that is not what you want to do on defense right there. And Berlin giving us a great demonstration of the not what to not do. Easy for me to say on defense there. And right now they just need to try and focus on playing some good defense here.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, we've talked about it. Berlin has definitely struggled a decent amount through the regular season. They do have one win under their belt, but I mean, facing against the number 2 team, Hollidaysburg, who's definitely cemented themselves as that number 2 team, can really be daunting. And we may be seeing some nerves come out from the side of Berlin, just because they understand uh, how dangerous a team that Hollidaysburg is, that they may be just a little nervous on the pitch, making mistakes that they shouldn't be, or that they wouldn't normally be making, because those tournament nerves are coming out here. And so things like that double commit, the triple commits, those are things that Brothersvalley just needs to iron out, get rid of, take a second, recollect themselves, and stop. Worry less about stopping the ball every time, and worry more about communicating, so that you're not always going for the
Mhm.
same ball at the same time.
Yeah, and another thing you can do on the end of holiday circle, which is scary to think about, is work on your teamwork, work on your communication, work on some trying to set up some set plays, some passing as well, some team play that kind of
Ooh.
like we saw from Penn Trafford. They dominated, but they also had great team play. So you can only imagine how much higher up a team like Hollidaysburg can go if they work on their passing. Because right now it's just kind of hit the ball and capitalize on the mistakes, as we see Haphazard Drip capitalize on yet another one, make 4 goals for him.
Yeah, and you know what? This is kind of what excites me about high school, and about this league in particular, is that even the top teams have things that they should be working on, or they could be working on. And so this is by no means the end all be all, the pinnacle of everything, because they can keep working on it. Haphazard getting a touch, but the ball is going to get denied by that 4th member of Berlin, the crossbar, not allowing Haphazard to put another point on the board.
And ooh, what a save that is! But there for the cleanup is Haphazard Drip. I mean, it was a great shot. Unfortunately, it doesn't go in. Bounces off both posts and goes out. And then clean up there for Haphazard Drip. Now 10-1 with 2:15 left. I
Yeah,
mean, this
that's a lot
is
of time.
that is a lot of time, but I don't think it's enough time to mount a comeback. If you're Berlin.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Big Poppy in the perfect position to send that back, but Spectral Flash still able to get their car in the way. Yeah, I think if you're Berlin, right, this may be an opportunity that you want to take to just learn, or even experiment a little bit with your composition, right? 10-1 with a minute 45 left is a very difficult comeback to make. So this may be the opportunity that you say, hey, let's talk a little bit, let's focus less on winning and more on just communicating with each other, making sure that we're not getting these double commits, that we're trusting each other. Spectral Flash just barely saves that. Shredder Luke gonna take it away, but is just not gonna have the right angle for it. So just dancing around with it. Now an opportunity for Berlin. Gonna get shut down by Big Poppy, who flies out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I think honestly, another thing Berlin might need to do is try and have an actual defensive rotation, because right now they just have Spectral Flash sitting in the goal, waiting for that ball. And that's a great strategy until it comes time to save 2 shots in quick succession. And haphazard drip does get past Spectral Flash. Maybe caught sleeping a little bit there.
Yeah, just a little bit. Oh, wasn't expecting that ball to take that angle that it did. Something interesting that we saw from Berlin just a second ago was Nightmare getting a demo. We didn't really talk about it too much, but that has really been Nightmare's kind of go-to position, is that enforcer role, that demo role. And so it feels like maybe Berlin is getting sort of more comfortable with this matchup as we see them going for demos a bit more often, which definitely could be a key to victory here if they are able to knock Hollidaysburg off of their rotations, disrupt the attack or even the defense. This may be what Berlin Brothers needs.
Yeah, and a little bit of defensive panic seemingly creeping in there for Berlin, but they do manage to get it out. And now have potential chance to clear it out again and counterattack, but Obsidian Fang can't quite get onto it. We're seeing double commits, we're seeing triple commits, we're seeing everything you don't want to see out of the defense, but maybe a chance to get a goal back, but it doesn't look like they will. And that will do it for game number 1. Hollidaysburg with a commanding
11-1.
there, 11-1. Not quite the 10-4 that or 20-4 that I predicted, based on the rate the goals were going in at the beginning. But
Yeah.
haphazard drip, 6 goals, 8 shots. I mean, it as well as 3 assists. That is no easy task to have.
No, absolutely not. And I think Berlin really had a slow start. They had a rough start for sure. But they did feel like they were coming into their own a little bit more. They were playing more comfortably as we got deeper into the series, which is why, as you predicted, right, Hollidaysburg getting what, like 5
Yeah,
goals within a minute. That
yeah.
that scoreline really slowed down for the rest of the game as Berlin Brothers started to feel more comfortable in this matchup. And we see Spectral Flash with 4 saves of their own, 1 shot, 1 goal, really carrying the team right now. And I feel like we haven't really seen enough out of Spectral Flash for the rest of the regular season, which makes me excited because now that's just more opportunity for the rest of Berlin Brothers to really start following that lead and playing the best game that they can.
Yeah, and honestly, if Berlin plays like they did in the last bit of that game, they might have a shot coming up in the following games because they looked like a completely different team in the second half of that game. A little better defensively. Still definitely a few things to iron out on that end. Like I said, you don't want that dedicated goalie because when it comes time for quick saves in succession, you only have one guy to do that. And that's why
Yep.
every team does that defensive rotation on the back end. You have the guy going out for the ball, and then you usually have the guy coming back post to try and stop it. But we get
Oh,
into game number 2 here. A little bit of a traffic jam on the ball there in the center. And Big Poppy gotta put it
oh
in.
my gosh, how that ball was so slow. In fact, it was so slow that it should have hit the crossbar, but it was just too slow to hit the crossbar and instead falls down into the net. Again, we see Hollidaysburg starting with an early lead. Something here that we see from Berlin Brothersvalley is this triple commit off the start. They definitely need to start or stop doing that. An opportunity, maybe Obsidian Fang can get a touch on it. Big Poppy's there to knock it away, though.
Yeah, I don't think Obsidian Fang had a boost in that scenario. Again, boost management. We don't talk about it a lot, but boost management is probably one of the hardest skills besides aerial hits and mid-air control to get in Rocket League. And I think it's overlooked by so many people and so many teams. I mean, having that aerial control can be so crucial, uh, and can really help make or break a goal, especially in that scenario. I mean, you saw Obsidian Fang had a chance to score if he had boost, but it just seems like he didn't have any, and wasn't able to tie things up here in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely an undervalued skill for sure. It's so important. Speaking of an important, haphazard going to put another one on the board for Hollidaysburg. Uh, but the ability to manage your boost, know when the boost timers are happening, how to effectively boost starve your opponent are such important micro plays that we don't get to talk about a lot. We don't get to see a lot, but are so important and vital for this game. Like we see Haphazard dealing that corner boost. It doesn't matter if Shredder Luke's just going to finish that up. 3-0, definitely a much slower game than we saw from game one, which will benefit Berlin Brothers.
Yeah, and there's also the situation you need to realize when you need ball over boost, but then there's also
Yeah.
scenario boost over ball. So I think that's just something that comes with playing the game more. Um, and I I'm sure as they progress, both in high school and in potentially college, they'll figure that out. Um, but
Yeah.
uh, right now, it's
Ooh.
Hollidaysburg looking like the number two for a reason, as Haphazard Drip puts that in for his second goal of this match, and to make things 4-0.
Yeah, and I mean, Hollidaysburg needs to look tip top shape if they want even a chance of taking down Winber, who has been uncontested throughout the entirety of this regular season. Really, just no contest right now. Winber is indeed the best team in the league right now. Hollidaysburg wasn't able to defeat them when they met last, so making sure that they're keeping up their pressure, keeping their game strong is really like Hollidaysburg. They need to show that they are dominant, that they are this number 2 seed if they want to have a chance of taking down Winber, who has really shown what a strong team they are.
Yeah, and honestly, we saw a great save there by Nightmare while you were talking. And now maybe Berlin's gonna try and get this ball out of their end. It seems like they've started to do defensive rotations rather than having Spectral Flash waiting in that goal.
Whew.
And but maybe you need to have maybe you need to have him, because right now it's just triple commit after triple commit, and it is not working. I mean 5-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, we both said yeah at the same time.
Yeah.
Yo, I mean, it really is hard to talk about this, especially when Hollidaysburg really showing how dominant they are. We haven't even really seen them up in the air too much. It's really has just been Hollidaysburg out rotating Berlin Brothers right now, where Berlin is making a lot of these big mistakes like the double and the triple commits that we see often here. It really feels like Berlin hasn't really had an opportunity to sit down and talk with each other too much, or communication during the game has been a little displaced. And so we
Yeah.
keep seeing like bumps and triple commits that are so dangerous.
Yeah,
And right
and
now,
yeah, and another thing to note is a lot of the players on Berlin don't really have boosts. I mean, Hollidaysburg has just been so good at boost starving these people. I mean, Nightmare, no boost. Obsidian Fang, no boost. Spectral Flash for the longest time didn't have boost. I mean, there's not really much you can do when you don't have any boost to do anything with. But right now, ball in front of the net. Haphazard Drip does end up clearing it. And now the ball is back in the end of Berlin Brothers Valley.
yeah, and Obsidian Fang using all of their boosts to make sure that the ball is cleared. That was a fantastic way to do it. Spectral Flash pushing it. Obsidian Fang is there.
Oh,
No, wasn't able to finish it off. A good save from Shredder Luke. And that may be a point on the side for Hollidaysburg unless Spectral Flash has anything to say about it. 5-0 right now in favor of Hollidaysburg, but an opportunity, just barely, not fast enough on the side of on the side of Berlin. 30 seconds remaining. Can they put a point on the board?
yeah, that was a dangerous ball played there by uh, Hollidaysburg.
Oh,
And speaking of dangerous balls, that's a very, very dangerous ball there by Haphazard Drip. And he makes Berlin Brothers Valley pay. That's his fourth one of the match on 5 shots. He's been very efficient in this series.
That was really smart by Haphazard Drip there, seeing all three members of the defense, realizing that Berlin kind of struggles to get up in the air. Instead of hitting it forward, knocks it down to the ground for the bounce, and it just bounces all over all three members of the Berlin defense. Not this time, though. 10 seconds remaining. We see Obsidian Fang trying to get something happening, or Big Poppy going to center it. And both members of Berlin not able to get the touch on it. Big Poppy keeping it alive, but it's going to hit the ground now. Hollidaysburg wins game 2 in a fairly dominant fashion, but nothing like we saw in game 1. So we saw 11-1 in game 1, and now we see 6-0 for game 2. Berlin Brothers, if they keep this up, they will definitely keep shortening the gap further and further into game 3.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're running out of matches to do that. And as this is only a best of 3, we're not playing like 10 games in a row to keep narrowing that and chipping away and chipping away. So you definitely have to be careful about that. And yeah, I mean, another completely dominant performance by Hollidaysburg. They looked absolutely unreal, showing us why they're the number 2 team. And honestly, building up a little bit of hype here. Seeing what awaits us in the playoffs between them and Penn Trafford, because both teams absolutely dominated today, looking on similar levels. So that might be my matchup.
Yeah.
I want to see the most.
Yeah, I mean, if I remember correctly, I believe Penn Trafford and Hollidaysburg played a bit earlier in the season, so we haven't really been able to see the new and more improved version of Penn Trafford take on
Yeah,
Hollidaysburg. Like I said, they really were struggling in the beginning of the season, and maybe they just needed that time to get their legs under them. Hollidaysburg, on the other hand, has been dominant practically throughout the entirety of the
yeah.
season. So you're right. This may be the matchup to look out for when we see Hollidaysburg and Penn Trafford take each other on in playoffs, if they do get to take each other on in playoffs.
Yeah, and honestly, Berlin Brothersvalley, I think, is definitely improved a little bit. Speaking of improving, we'll see how much they have or how much they will improve uh, in this game number 3. Early pressure in the end of Hollidaysburg, but gonna get cleared there. Now that
Oh
ball
no.
sailing right into the goal. Big Poppy from downtown, looking like the Big Poppy from the Boston Red Sox, absolutely slugging that one from one end, sending it to the other. I mean, what a great start if you're a fan of Hollidaysburg, as they go up 1-0 within 15 seconds. And
Oh,
ooh, what a shot!
yeah, there was an opportunity from Berlin there. Again, we see the triple commit on the kickoff, but Hollidaysburg playing a bit more defensive than we
Hmm.
normally see. Shredderluke going to get past the defense, going up 2-0. I mean, off the kickoff here, we see Hollidaysburg playing a bit more passive, really letting their players take these one-on-ones, and just staying back. So this may be the opportunity that Berlin needs, or wants rather, to tie this game up, actually get some points on the board. Spectral Flash. Oh no,
What a
Nightmare
recovery!
just barely able to save it. A scary situation for sure.
Yeah, great recovery there. Seems like some more miscommunication there between Berlin Brothersvalley players, but thankfully they're able to regain and get that save from going or getting the ball to go from. I'm just gonna stop talking.
Oh no, because
Big
Big
Poppy,
Poppy.
Big Poppy puts it in. I think I was trying to say is stops that ball from going the back of the net. There it is. I
Yeah.
finally said it. Wow, that was way more of a struggle than it should have been. Oh my goodness. But
For sure.
3-0, Big Poppy now with 2 goals on 4 shots, absolutely peppering, and Shredder Luke 1 for 1.
Oh. Oh. And that was an
And
opportunity. We saw
yeah,
Obsidian Fang retrieve Haphazard's ball and had the opportunity to shoot it, unfortunately, just a little bit wide. This is, as we were seeing right here, the opportunity for Berlin Brothers. They got to stop this triple commit, though. They are literally just running into each other, stopping the ball anytime they want to move it forward. Spectral Flash not able to turn around fast enough, and Haphazard is the one up to bat. As we talked about a little bit earlier, it does look like Hollidaysburg really allowing their players to get these one-on-ones or 1v3s so that the players do have that experience and that opportunity to take it
I
on.
also,
So
I also think that they're just sending one person at a time into the half of Brothersvalley and having the other two just stay in the net to prevent any goals. And honestly, it's worked out in this game. Haphazard Drip just zooming through the other team, isn't quite able to put it in, but there it is, the triple commit yet again by Brothersvalley. And
oh,
Nightmare trying to create a little bit of opportunity, it seems, for his team, but it looks like it is Haphazard Drip's turn. Yeah, they're just sending one at a time now, and it's Haphazard turn to try and make something happen. Ball right in front. Can they do something with it? Not quite. And the
yeah,
ball cleared out.
yeah, I mean, in that situation, right, we saw Haphazard. Haphazard was out of boost in a typical situation. That is when Haphazard would rotate out for that second man to take the shot instead. But really trying to focus on these individual skills of Hollidaysburg, which we know are very clean, very polished, especially when we look at players like Big Poppy, who has absolutely just been popping off all day today.
Yeah, and right now, Berlin Brothers Valley has gotten some chances, just hasn't been able to capitalize. And defense has been solid all around by Hall, showing us why they're number two. And it looks like that ball is going to sail over the goal. No immediate danger for Berlin, but haphazard drip.
Oh,
Right as I say that, has to prove me wrong and puts that in for yet another goal.
yeah, and that was such an awkward ball, kind of slow, weird angle. A great shot from Haphazard. So difficult for Berlin to really deal with something like that due to its weird angle and their positioning at the end of the day. Obsidian Fang trying to make something happen. Shredder Luke almost knocks it in for them, but thankfully Big Poppy is there to stop any sort of aggression. We're a little over a minute remaining, and it's up to
What a save.
Berlin. What a save. Yeah, exactly. It's up to Berlin to make these saves, make these plays, and hopefully get a point on the board, a point or two, maybe even four on the board for themselves. They have to
Maybe
get
even five.
past, maybe even five. They have to get past this defense of Hollidaysburg. First, they got to get past the defense of the ball.
Yeah, that ball played some lockdown defense right there. That magnetic. I think that's another situation of miscommunication.
Yeah.
One person thought they had it. Nightmare has it though. They get the goal they need. Perhaps this is the start of the comeback.
Yeah, this is an opportunity. 44 seconds left. Can Berlin make
Haphazard
something
drip
happen?
is flipping a goal.
Yeah, I think Haphazard got a little turned around there. But yeah, again, as you're talking about, I think Berlin is really kind of struggling in that communication department where, like you said, it wasn't that they both missed the ball. It's just that they thought the other one was going for
Yeah.
it. So they both intentionally missed, thinking that the other person would have it. And Big Poppy, easy every day, gonna win these 1v1s, 1v2, 1v3s. By far one of the stronger freestyle players that we've seen in this league.
Yeah, and honestly, you might need someone on your team to be that definite IGL to say, hey,
Yeah.
this is your ball, you go for it, or hey, I got this, back off. Um, and we see them run to each other again, and maybe try a little bit of reverse goal, but that's not quite gonna work. Nightmare taking out haphazard drip and preventing him from trying to get another goal in this one.
Oh,
Berlin now with a chance to score again. However, Obsidian Fang runs out of boost.
Yeah, so sad. Obsidian Fang had the shot just a little off, didn't have enough boost to get there. Hollidaysburg gonna win game three, not quite as effectively as we have seen from the past, but they get the job done. 5-1 in order to secure their victory today against Berlin Brothers Valley. What a matchup, right? Hollidaysburg really showing why they are the number 2 team in the league right now. Just so dominant throughout the entirety of the series.
Yeah, it was a similar situation that we saw in the first series. I mean, every facet of the game was dominated by Hollidaysburg, to the point where they could send the one guy in, and essentially attempt a 1v3, and even sometimes it worked. And it just goes to show the amount of talent that they have on that team. Would have liked to see him work on the team play a little more, as they start to get into the crunch time with the playoffs. But I mean, every bit was just dominant for them. And we'll see if that continues on into the playoffs.
I expect that it will. They really
Yeah,
have been such a strong team. I really the one team that I was thinking might be able to contest Winber was Forest Hills, and Winber able to really kind of show their might in that Forest Hills game. So at that point, and then we saw Hollidaysburg beat Forest Hills. Hollidaysburg really have cemented themselves as that number 2 seed. So I think if anyone will be able to take down the giant that Winber has become, Hollidaysburg is looking like the best shot, the best hope for mankind, if you will, in
the
order
last
to
hope.
the last hope in order to defeat Winver. But again, anything can happen. We've seen so much
Yeah,
improvement from all of these teams in the league that Winver looking so good, but it may have been a while since they've fought some of these other teams like a Penn Trafford who really struggled in the beginning. Maybe Penn Trafford, all they needed was a little bit of time to work together and get their gameplay down. Maybe Penn Trafford will be that team that will take down Winber, or Winber will be undefeated throughout the entirety of the regular season and the postseason. Anything can happen, and that's what's so exciting about this.
yeah, and honestly, I expect the level of hype in playoffs to just double the amount that the regular season has had. I mean, that's usually the case for esports and sports, and honestly, I can't wait to see what happens with that.
Yeah, well, speaking of, I can't wait to see what happens. You are going to have to wait just a little bit as we have game number 3 will be coming to you after a short break. Game number 3, of course, is Salisbury Elk versus the number 1 team, Winber. You are not going to want to miss it. We will be right back after a short break. All right. Hello and welcome back. I apologize if you were excited for the Salisbury Elk and Wimber match, but that unfortunately has been rescheduled. So instead, we're just going to continue on with the rest of the matches and the final match that we had planned for today. And that, of course, is Gateway versus Forest Hills. Wilson, how are you feeling about this?
This might be one of the best matchups we're going to see all season in the regular season. I mean, two teams, very similar records, one win between the two. We have Forest Hills sitting at 3-2, and of course, Gateway at 2-3. So a win for Gateway. They're tied up with Forest Hills there, heading into playoffs. So definitely a lot on the line for both teams, and also a chance to improve to 4-2 on the end of Forest Hills. So a lot better than a .5 right there. So definitely a lot at stake in this match here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there are honestly so many standout players to talk about. Obviously, on the side of Forest Hills, you of course have Vaco, who has just been absolutely going insane. On the side of Gateway, Pop Puke has really been
Yeah.
kind of carrying the team. But there are so many players who really have matches that they stand out with. I think Vaco and Pop Puke are more of the consistent players that we see a lot from. But also on the side of Forest Hills, Mega Blaziken has done a fantastic job and typically playing that first man to set up Vaco, set up the shots to make sure that they go in and right where they need to. Ball starting in position for Forest Hills. Mega Blaziken with the
Ooh.
shot is gonna get it. What a fast shot as well.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of early goals come out here in all the series we've covered today, and Mega Blaziken ensuring that happens again. And also, when I was doing Division 1, Mega Blaziken got called up there as well, so maybe a little bit of a hybrid player for
Oh.
both here. And as they start off the shot, and oh my goodness, two as well.
Oh my gosh.
Right
We have
off the back, Forest Hills trying to say, hey, you thought it was going to be close. We're going to make it not close.
Oh my goodness. I love that replay. Giving you hail just perfectly centering that ball. Mega Blaziken in the perfect position. What a fantastic team play. And this is what we were talking about earlier. Oh no, just barely miss from Waffle Wolf. Oh, so close. That was the opportunity that Gateway needed to get back into this game. But as I was saying, and as you were saying earlier, the teams that really separate themselves are the teams that can play together and pass well, work together well. And we're starting to
Oh.
see that from Forest Hills.
Yeah, but right now, Gateway just missing the ball on double commits. Exactly what you can't do. And right there, 1 minute in, less than a minute in, actually, Mega Blaziken has a hat trick to start things off here. And
Whoa.
Gateway starting off very slow, double committing the balls, miscommunicating, and right now it's just not the start you want to see if you're Gateway.
Oh, and Vaco is just going to keep laying it on 4-0 at 4 minutes. That's kind of a beautiful scoreline. If only Forest Hills was on the other side, then we could really have that 4-0 4 minutes. But with that, Forest Hills very comfortably in the lead. This is definitely the fire that we've seen from Forest Hills. We knew that they were not happy with that loss to Hollidaysburg, and they are one of the better teams, one of the teams that I really have kept my eye on through the entirety of the regular season. And that isn't just because they followed me on Twitter, but also just because
You
they
mention
have
that every time. It's like you're flexing on me every time you say that.
I'm just really happy that they seem very nice as Mega Blaziken gets another nice goal, 5-0. But I mean, this team throughout the regular season has just been on fire. They've been looking so clean. We've seen Vaco popping off, Mega Blaziken as well, even giving you hail with some fantastic defensive plays. This team has just looked clean all around.
Yeah, and honestly, they're gonna continue to do that. Giving you hail puts it in. And right now, we're getting repeats of the first few matchups here. Forest Hills 6-0 with only a minute 30 into this game. I mean,
I
and I'm just at a loss for words right now because
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say here. This is definitely not the Gateway that we are used to seeing. And I don't know whether it's the pressure that Forest Hills has been putting on that is making them just look so exceptional, or if it's something else on the side of Gateway, because we normally see a much feistier, much better Gateway out the gate here, and they just don't have an answer to Forest Hills right now.
yeah, and honestly, that
Ooh.
lead's just gonna continue to go up. Make a Blaziken with an amazing goal from out of the air to pick that off. Upside down as well,
Ooh.
I might add. That is not an easy shot to hit. And he makes it look so easy right there. 7-0. This is turning into an NFL game.
That's a
And
very
now a 2-point conversion. Oh my goodness.
as we see Mega Blaziken able to again knock that ball in. I feel like this is the best we've seen Mega Blaziken look the entire season.
He's
Uh,
handedly willing this team to victory right now.
yeah, 6 for 6 right now. 6 goals for 6 shots. Nothing is stopping Mega Blaziken at this point.
Except maybe himself, who knows? But I don't even think that can stop him. And right now, Gateway just seems like they're lagging a little bit behind than normally. This is not normally the team we're seeing. Pop Puke unable to hit that ball. And another missed ball there as Zidarks, however you say that, goes down to a demo, preventing any counterattack possibility that they had. And a save there by Waffle Wolf. But ball is popped up there to the center. Pop Puke does end up saving it. So maybe a little bit sign of activity coming out here from Gateway. But no, a pass across your goal. That's exactly what you don't want to happen. Mega Blaziken picks up goal number 7 on 7 shots.
Oh my gosh. And Mega Blaziken always just in the perfect position. Looking less like a Blaziken and more like a shark, just waiting around, circling.
I believe the Pokemon term for that would be the Sharpedo. But yes.
Yeah, there are a couple of shark Pokemon out there.
No, I think there's only one.
Uh,
I think it's Sharpedo.
I feel like we can fight about this later.
I'm gonna look this up
Pokedex out.
afterwards, and I'll get back to you on it. But yeah, right now this is an absolute clinic as Vaco can't quite put that one in, and now ball back in the center, and now luckily Vaco was there for Forest Hills to save that one.
Yeah, but something I saw there on the side of, as we see, Giving You Hail puts another one on the board for Forest Hills 10-0. Something that we saw there out of that pass play is the fact that we did see Gateway contesting in the air. And that is something that we've seen a lot of these lower teams right now who struggle with is air contention. So I love to see that Gateway, regardless of if they're successful for that air contention, going for it, trying to contest in the air.
Oh my
because
goodness.
this is the only way to get better at it is to keep doing it. And unfortunately, Waffle Wolf not able to get up there. Mega Blaziken gonna connect another one. 8 for 8, still looking it's impossible to defeat.
Yeah, and while you were talking there, Alex, I just remembered that there's also the Gibble line in Pokemon as well. So maybe he's like one of those. They are land sharks, but right now, oh no, he misses the ball, and Zidarks gets the long range goal. That's just an unfortunate miss on the end of Forest Hills.
Oh, I love to see that as we see Vaco just are Giving You Hail in slow motion, just flying past the ball. And with that, this is looking just like the last series we saw, 11-1. It may not stay this way though, because Forest Hills is not slowing down whatsoever, constantly putting on this pressure. Pop Puke gonna get it away. Can ZRX get anything here? Not quite, as Forest Hills is just so good at recollecting this ball. Pop Puke gonna knock it away in such a dangerous angle, Mega Blaziken's just gonna just going to take advantage of that.
And the demo on the end to add salt onto the wound. Mega Blaziken, I believe, still perfect. Yeah, 9 for 9 with 1 assist. No saves from Forest Hills, I might add. And only 2 on the end of Gateway. Defense, a non-factor in this game, and Waffle Wolf, I think he's had enough.
We'll have to see. Only 30 seconds remaining, so whatever issue that Waffle Wolf may be experiencing, they will have time after this match to fix it up. Waffle Wolf did move out a little bit. So Vaco getting past one, not going to get past the second one, but was very close, giving you Hail there to recollect 15 seconds. Not much to happen here except maybe Mega Blaziken putting another point on the board. We are going to see a save from Pop Puke. And at that point, Mega Blaziken's perfect score for score is going to be ruined. We only have 9 goals for 10 shots. Mega Blaziken not able to finish that off. And it's going to end the game. Forest Hills 12-1 against Gateway.
I mean, I did not expect the same result that we saw in the first 2. But boy, did we get the same result. 11-1. Mega Blaziken 1 shot away from being perfect with how many goals? 9. That's just ridiculous. And if you're Gateway, you need to stop him. Because, which is easier said than done. But, I mean, I'm just at a loss for words.
Yeah, and something that I really love to see here for Forest Hills, because we know that they have had a little bit of that fire lit under them after losing to Hollidaysburg, is this to see other players really step up and in a big way. Mega Blaziken, of course, one of the stronger players on the side of Forest Hills, not typically the strongest though. When you think about the standout players, you really look to Vaco, who has been dominating throughout the regular season. Mega Blaziken, really they're a good, solid player, but at the end of the day, when you're looking at players that stand out, Vaco has been standing out for a majority of the regular season. But here, Mega Blaziken really setting a name for themselves, really putting in stone why they should be talked about more often and why Forest Hills is in contention for that playoffs, even for potential grand finals when we come to playoffs, because of how strong they're looking here.
Yeah, and honestly, Mega Blaziken showing why he got that call up to D1, single-handedly carrying Forest Hills on his back. And we're going to see if he continues to do that here in game number 2. We're going to start things off with a quick goal. And that is why you don't double commit there, folks, and have someone back at all times. Zidark just way too far. You got to be back there in case that happens. And giving you Hail starts things off here for game number 2.
Something I'd love to see out of all of these teams in this league is to maybe watch some VODs on how to kick off and what exactly have some kickoff strategies, because we have seen a lot of goals come out of kickoffs very, very early. No matter the team, oh my gosh, Vaco almost knocking that in accidentally, but we have seen a lot of kickoff goals. So I would really like to see a bit more strategy for every team when it comes to kickoffs. And I mean, you talked about, right, the double commits are really rough. It's okay to have a player cheat up behind that first man, but you just have to be ready so you can stop any sort of ball that gets redirected towards the net. Vaco going to drop it down. It is going to get past one member of Gateway. Mega Blaziken there to finish it off.
Yeah, Vaco almost pulled off an incredible aerial goal. Way high up in the air there, but Mega Blaziken is there to clean up for his teammate, as he now is 1 for 1, hopefully trying to continue his perfect streak. And Pop Puke with a great save there, but you have to watch out for the Mega Blaziken. Almost scores yet again. Oh my goodness.
And we see another double commit come out for the side of Gateway. Pop Puke again. Like I said, Pop Puke, that player on the side of Gateway that we keep talking about, doing everything in their power to keep Gateway alive and well. And their efforts are not unwarranted. They don't go unnoticed because it is 3 minutes and 30 seconds into this game. Forest Hills only up by 2-0. Pop Puke keeping this competitive, keeping their team in. Now they just need to start responding with some goals of their own.
Yeah, and honestly, they've done a great job of counterattacking. It's just they don't have the numbers to do the counterattack. Maybe some demos need to come out here from the side of Gateway to try and get back in this, to try and get that pressure, get the ball out of their end. But right now, it is just all Forest Hills. Now that's a double commit, and now here is the chance that Gateway's been waiting for. Ball goes into the middle. Can anyone get onto that? No, they can't. Forest Hills with the clear. Another double commit on the end of Gateway, and now Forest Hills is able to get the ball back in their end.
Yeah, and that is the unfortunate thing that we see here. Even when Forest Hills makes a mistake like that big double commit we saw earlier, unfortunately, Gateway just isn't fast enough to really capitalize on it. Oh my gosh. What a clear here. Waffle Wolf now has an opportunity. Gonna get past one defender. Can they get past more? They're gonna get it in the air, and what a shot. Waffle Wolf getting closer to tying this up. Gateway, a real chance in this game with 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining.
Yeah, absolutely great ball control in the air there by Waffle. Get past the first guy, just flick it up enough to where the second guy wasn't gonna be able to get onto it. And now we're gonna see kickoff go into the end of Forest Hills, and now Gateway.
Where's Gateway?
No one's there on Gateway to clean that up. That could have been the tying goal right there. And now the pressure is back on the end of Gateway.
Oh man, I really would have liked to see at least one member, maybe two members of Gateway cheat up there, take that ball. It was a perfect. They won the kickoff into the corner. I would have really liked to see them press that advantage. Hopefully, Waffle is going to clear it here. Pop Puke again doing a fantastic job of just stopping the ball from going in. But Forest Hills is relentless. They will keep it up. And wow, what a goal!
I don't think that was intentional, but we'll say for the sake of the broadcast that it is. What a great team play. The unintentional pinch.
I mean, that looked intentional. Vaco looked like they knew what they were doing when they slid over there.
I mean, we'll say that it is. What a great pinch there. And now 3-1 in advantage of Forest Hills as they attempt to extend their lead up to 2. But Gateway trying to stop that from happening. A little bit of a double commit, but that's a little bit safer of one. Right as I say that.
Commit. Oh, Vaco playing for the other team.
What a save.
Unfortunately, just getting in the way of the team's shot. Vaco trying to get that pass, but instead ended up blocking the shot at the end of the day. Forest Hills not going to sweat it too much, though, because they are still in the lead. We see a huge triple commit here. Can Gateway do something with it? And they're going to try Pop Puke pushing it up to the corner, but it's going to get knocked away by Vaco, who's going to try to keep pushing it forward. Waffle Wolf, the person to look for, not going to get anything as we see Pop Puke gets demoed in the background. Vaco has an open net and is going to capitalize on it.
Yeah, what an absolute laser of a shot there from Vaco. Absolutely unreal as he puts another one up on the board. 3 assists and a goal for Vaco right now, being the player for Forest Hills in this matchup. And right now, Forest Hills not quite at the level of dominance that they had in the first game, but they do not care. They are up by 3.
Yeah, and I think this is not only speaks to the merits of Gateway, who, again, like we said, game 1 did not look like normal Gateway. That there definitely felt like there was something off. This feels like the start of us going back to Gateway. So possibly when we go to game 3, we will see more and more Waffle of trying to make something happen here, floating through the air, but he's out of boost.
Yeah,
pushing their advantage.
Now ball in the end of Forest Hills, but looks like that's finally going to get cleared out. Mega Blaze to get onto it, but Fako's there to clean it up. And that is great offensive rotation there from Forest Hills. Get the ball out of their end and quickly counterattack. Not really much you can do if you're on the end of the Gateway when caught out like that. And now
this is it. There's 4 seconds remaining. Gateway cannot get a goal a second. All that can happen is maybe Forest Hills scores another, but it's going to touch the ground here. Forest Hills winning, but definitely not as dominant as we saw in game number one, only 5-1 rather than that 12-1 scoreline they started out with. And here, this is interesting. Mega Blaziken, who was going insane game one, on the bottom of the scoreboards for
Yeah.
Forest Hills. Vaco, on the other hand, at the top. As I said, that player that really is constant and stands out.
Yeah, and honestly, it's a bit of a surprise seeing Mega Blaziken. I mean, for how well that player did in the first match. Little fell off a little bit there, but also kind of took on more of a defensive role. It
Yep.
kind of stayed back and allowed his teammates to go forward. He had a chance for a goal or two. Unfortunately, wasn't able to capitalize, but we saw his teammates there to help clean that up. So I think that's part of the factor into that. I guess that's the way you could say that.
Yeah.
And honestly, right now, Gateway, you got to be careful. I mean, 2-0 down. Could this be the third 3-0 of the day is the question.
It is very possible, especially if Forest Hills keeps up this pressure. But Gateway, they do have the opportunity to turn the tables and turn the momentum in their favor. We saw a little bit of life coming out of them, especially in this game number 2. Can they continue this resurrection and bring us to a game 4?
Yeah, getting into it now. Ball in the end of
Woo.
Gateway, and Mega Blaziken, he heard us talking about him, and he said, watch this. Absolutely great teamwork there to put that ball in just the right spot, and he just lifts it right over the defenders of Gateway.
Yeah, that was such a beautiful pass play too, giving you hail, just setting it up almost perfectly for Mega Blaziken. Didn't hit the ball too hard or too softly. Really just able for Mega Blaziken to walk it or knock it into the net easy. And that's what we love to see, that those team plays, that pass plays they're so exciting and they really are so scary if you're the defense.
Yeah, meanwhile, a little bit of an awkward ball there for Mega Blaziken to deal with. Ultimately does, though. And now, pressure back in the end of Gateway. Unable to do anything with that. Mega Blaziken, the shot gets saved by Waffle Wolf. Now, counterattack opportunity. That's all 3 players for Forest Hills. But, unfortunately, nothing's going to come of it. Although, double commit. Something can happen with it now. Waffle Wolf unable to get that last little bit. Boost being fought over. Mega Blaziken goes down, wasting that corner boost ultimately.
Yeah, and that was so close. Waffle Wolf just needed a little bit more boost or a little bit more speed to knock Mega Blaziken out of the way, and that would have been a goal. Mega Blaziken, good awareness on their part to really ensure that goal. Vaco trying to set it up for Mega Blaziken, who's going to cross it over the center, giving you hails, going to try to get a touch, but again, Waffle Wolf there really showing up for their team right now.
Yeah, and right now, pressure remaining in the end of Gateway. They just can't seem to get it out. I mean, it's the same scenario. They're pushed up in their own half. I mean, double committing, triple committing with little to no boost. And as soon as the ball gets to halfway, it's hit out. But maybe this might be the opportunity to break out of that cycle. And what just happened?
Oh my gosh, we see Waffle Wolf taking this aerial attack. We see Mega Blaziken come up, knocks it down. Vaco there, not expecting the ball to get knocked at them, and they accidentally bounce the ball into the net. We have a tied game with 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. This is the first tie that Gateway has seen in this series, and oh boy, like a gator, they have got to hold on to this with all of their strength.
What is it with you and animal analogies, man?
Gateway has a little gator as their icon.
They do.
As their logo, so it just made me think about it.
That's fair. All right, I like that one.
I like animals. Animals are cool.
I like animals too. Animals are cool. But speaking of animals, let's see what Mega Blaziken can do on the end of offense. I mean, he's been absolutely unreal. I know that was a little bit of a stretch. I apologize. But right now, I'd also like to note, Waffle Wolf single-handedly keeping his team in this. 2 saves, a goal, and 2 shots. Meanwhile, goose eggs across the board for the rest of Gateway. Gibby You Hail
No.
takes this up 2-1. Alex showing his allegiance a little bit in this
No,
one.
no. Listen, I like both these teams, and I love that game 3 has been so close. Pop Puke, really
I know.
a defensive icon here.
I'm putting you on the spot. I'm trying to make you
Yeah.
flustered.
But Pop Puke, really a defensive icon for their team. Unfortunately, gets that first stop, and it's not counted as a save. Although if they didn't get in the way, it would have gone to the net. But unfortunately, it stopped one goal attempt and set up a different goal attempt. So really, Gateway was in such a difficult position for that one. Forest Hills just immaculate positioning.
Yeah, Forest Hills on offense has been something to behold. And right now, they're keeping that pressure on. 1:40 left in this one as ball continues to stay in the end of Gateway. But now a potential counterattack opportunity. What can Gateway make of this? Ball dangerously put into the center. Waffle Wolf trying to keep his team into it. And Mega Blaziken, is he going to get on it? And, ooh, great ground pitch. Is he going to get onto it? He does. What a goal by Waffle Wolf. What a great shot, great maneuver, great ground pitch. Everything about that was great.
Oh my gosh. And if you look at this score line, Waffle Wolf really said, hold on, guys, get in the backpack. I am carrying you to victory here, even if I have to drag you. Waffle Wolf coming off very strong right now.
And a little bit of a or a little too fast of a center there by Vaco, but a dangerous ball into the center, and he's going to make you pay every time for that. You cannot leave that ball right in front of the net like that for Mega Blaziken or really any player in this game. They will make you pay, and just like that, the tie is gone, and Forest Hills is up once again, 3-2.
3-2, a little over a minute remaining. Forest Hills Gateway has never been this close to beating out Forest Hills as they are right now. Vaco going, but wow, what a shot off the wall. No one is going to be fast enough in order to stop that, although they tried. Vaco just perfect positioning, rocketing themselves into the ball, and that lead is just ever widening right now. Gateway's hopes are getting slimmer and slimmer as the time ticks down. They need to do something now.
Ooh, Vaco. That had a chance to be a nice shot off the wall, but amazing clearance there by Gateway. And now Forest Hills trying to make something happen of it. Ball played in the center for the Forest Hills teammate and keeping this pressure on. And now Mega Blaziken with a chance to maybe work his magic a little bit here.
Yeah, 30 seconds remaining. Forest Hills comfortably in a 2-point lead. Gateway has got to make something happen in these next couple of seconds. They need a goal in order to have a chance at tying it up. But the longer they wait, the longer Forest Hills stalls them, the better it is looking for Forest Hills. 8 seconds left. And this is probably going to be it. Waffle Wolf tries to go, but it's going to get knocked away.
What a pinch.
And with that, time's going to end. Forest Hills is going to let it drop. And with that, Forest Hills is your victor. 3-0 against Gateway, who at the beginning were looking like they were in trouble, but near the end here, looking like they very much came alive.
Yeah, it's a shame that they didn't come alive quite as fast as they did. Definitely a much better second match there. Waffle Wolf definitely doing everything he could to try and bring his team across that victory line, but unfortunately just not enough at the end there. But yeah, that's it for the regular season. The 6-week season is concluded. I remember all 8 teams will be going to the playoffs, and now I believe the seeding is Winburg in first, Hollidaysburg second, Forest Hills, I believe, in a tie with Penn Trafford for third place. I'm not quite sure what the tiebreaker is on that. I assume it would be their head-to-head matchup. So whatever that was. And then we have Gateway and Bishop Carroll also tied at 2 and 4. And then Brothersvalley at 1 and 5. And Salisbury Elk at 0 and 6. So that's the seeding for that. So get ready for the playoffs next week.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Playoffs are certainly going to be interesting. I think at least finals are going to be hosted at St. Francis University, if not the entirety of playoffs. So that is so exciting for
A little bit
these.
of a land going on.
Yeah, a land going on, which is, oh my gosh, so exciting. If you haven't been to a land, it is just a
They're
different
amazing.
experience. Yeah, exactly. And having high schoolers have the opportunity to go to a land, to participate in a land, is one of the best experiences that they
Yeah.
could get.
It definitely is, and it really helps add to that atmosphere and gets them ready and prepared for the collegiate scene or possibly even pro scene as well. So definitely, it will be an experience that you don't want to miss, and of course, they don't want to miss either.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, as Wilson said, this was the conclusion of the regular season. Remember, coming up tomorrow at 3:30 EDT, the Esport Company High School League's Overwatch season continues, as I believe that will be the last week of their regular season as well. Division One, of course, taking place on twitch.tv/the Esport Company. And then, of course, Division Two taking place here on this channel. You're not going to want to miss out. Remember to follow the Esport Company on all of their socials. And if you like what I do, if you like what Wilson does, make sure to follow us on our socials as well.
Yeah, you can do !mark socials as well as !mark casters to find out all of that information that Alex mentioned. But I believe that's going to be it for me and Alex. Hopefully, you see you guys around this time next week for some playoff action. So it should be good. And as always, peace, love, and esports, guys. See you guys later.